I hope I can make sense of this question, but I had a lecture today, and this was in the sciences, and as you said that Hinduism believes hand in hand with Darwin and evolution and so on. I read a piece or a chapter on the fortune of eugenics in which it explained about the Darwinian theory of how there is a tree and in which all the components of a tree are really important, from the roots to the leaves to the everything, the animals. And it said that each part of the tree should not go into each other's roles, so we should be completely focused in our role in itself. And in society, and taking that as a Darwinian interpretation, I ask you, if we apply that to our society, surely Darwin is saying that we should not be concerned with anything other than our own function in our own lives. So does that mean that the poor should only be concerned with being poor and not improving themselves? Or should that mean that we should rise to the challenges we have in life to try and improve ourselves? So if Hinduism is supporting the Darwinian theory, should we be doing what we are doing and educating ourselves and so on?
When you interact with the greater world and you come across situation in your school, university, colleges, wherever, where certain moral dilemmas are presented to you, if you understood your religion in depth, you will be able to respond. You'll be able to really rise to the occasion. You'll enjoy the journey. I'm guaranteeing you this. It's such a powerful religion. If you understood it in depth, you would love to rise up to this occasion. Let me just touch on this. It's a very important question. I'll just rephrase it a little bit to make it easier for the audience. What you are saying in a way is this. If you say we have come out of the animal kingdom, as Darwin says, and Hindus agree we have come out of the animal kingdom. That's why, you see, when people say, why are all these animal faces in your Hindu deities, you know, Ganesh and all that, what's going on? Do you know what's going on actually? Through the narrative, through the storytelling, through this very colorful storytelling, we have given reverence to the animal kingdom. Do you see that? We have not put a demarcation that animals are here for us to crunch and munch on, and we are the superior ones. We have come out of the animal kingdom. So reverence for life cannot be restricted to the human kingdom. It must be extended to the animal kingdom. That's how they got wound up. That's why you will find with every god and goddess is an animal or a bird associated, given reverence. A mouse or an eagle or a swan, they get automatically lifted up. Or through the faces even. They allow, you see, this interaction. So we agree with this idea of Darwin that we have come out of the animal kingdom. But then you see with Darwin, with Richard Dawkins, he faces the same problem. Because if you ask Richard Dawkins, look, in the animal kingdom, the rule is very simple. You observe the animal kingdom. Survival of the fittest. Isn't it true? There's no other choice. The poor little tiddlers get eaten up straight away. Throughout, tremendous viciousness. Nature is red in tooth and claw. These are the language of biology. So it's red in tooth and claw. So if you come out of the animal kingdom, why can't we continue to exhibit the same features? So the poor ones, those kind of who are perhaps, some section of society, why can't we crush them and destroy them? That's what Hitler tried to do. He said, this whole race has been demolished. Eugenics. So you see, the question arises out of Darwin. In fact, people blame Darwin's theory for this idea of eugenics. They say that because of this feature that came out of science, this was in a way continued into the human kingdom, where you can say, okay, now let's demolish this tribe. They're outdated. We can do without. So how can you possibly change? This is how you change. Look at the depth of Hindu religion now. You see why we love this kind of questioning. We say, when we were operating in the animal kingdom, the only faculty we possessed was, if you like, instinct, survival instinct. And the way we operated was to just either kill or be killed, either eat or be eaten. That is the only way we could relate to this reality. That's how animals can. They just are in a blur, bite and kill. Once we evolved out of the animal kingdom into the human kingdom, apart from our instinct, we have developed another particular feature in our character, which is called the intellect. So we can now sit back and think for ourselves and try and link up objects and events. That's what causality is all about, cause and effect and why. This is how we try and link up things. So once we enter the human kingdom, says Richard Dawkins, not me, see the modern evolutionary biologist. He says when we step into the human kingdom, we have to allow this to become fully functional and step back from the idea of eugenics. So see, this is how the Hindus also agree with Dawkins. That's exactly right. When we were in the animal kingdom, we had no choice. We just operate at that level of the instinct. When we are at the human kingdom, use the intellect. Your intellect allows you to think more deeply about the nature of reality. And the level of, if you like, intellect, we have to step back from these violent ideas and say, not kill the weak, support the weak, help the weak. So the same evolutionary mechanism which was kind of vicious and vindictive, once in the human kingdom, this is not me, this is modern biology talking, and Hinduism would smile and say, that's what we mean as well. Now this is what actually happens according to Hinduism. Look, follow this and enjoy this. We say, underpinning this reality, the physical world that we see, the galaxies, the stars, the moons, underpinning everything, there is one thing that is so fluid, so dramatic, so different from matter, that we define as, in Hindu terms, Brahman or Brahma. Now Brahma, or this idea, this is the most comprehensive definition of God in the Hindu tradition, is not a personality with four heads or four arms. No, it's a principle, a spiritual underpinning to this reality. We've been screaming about this since the time of the Upanishads, 5,000 years. The underpinning to this reality is not matter. Matter is an epiphenomena, it's an appearance. The underpinning is spirit. And the spirit, when it manifests, how it does, we'll talk about it later, but when it manifests, it becomes, the first manifestation is very crass, very crude, is material. In the material world that we see, our ancient world, whenever we see a living thing beginning to come through, beginning to buzz, a little bacteria even, here the spirit is becoming more visible, says the Hindu religion. The same thing that was underpinning is becoming clearer, showing itself, showing its colors. And this thing that began as like a single living cell becomes much more complex, and the most, if you like, complex, evolved phase of the spirit is humanity. This is the definition of what Atman, our essential nature is the spirit. So the Hindu religion says we start, this material world is also the spirit, manifesting as the material world, very crass, very crude, becomes more refined as living things, and the most refined image of this living thing, the most transparent manifestation of the spirit, or God, is human beings, men and women. You are spark, the thing that is looking out through your eyes is essentially the spirit we are talking about as Brahman, as God, not in there, here, looking out through all these eyes, here and now. So straightway we say, in the animal kingdom we could not recognize it, so we were biting each other off. In the human kingdom we begin to recognize our divinity or divinity of all living things, so we start showing respect for life, not killing and hurting and harming. So straight with the ideas of ahimsa comes along, saying respect, revere life, because the spirit is visible there. Do you know why this is such a powerful idea? Let me show you the power of this particular thinking. It says, look, why should we become moral? Why should we look after each other? Why shouldn't we thump each other? Why should we not steal from each other, kill each other? Suppose I get an opportunity, you're not looking, I've got the knife, why shouldn't I kill you and take all your stuff? I'm not here to do that. But the thing is, why not? Important moral issue. Why? Why should I help somebody when he's down? Why should I care? Now suppose you believe, this ancient way of looking at it, saying, because the reason why you must look after each other, because the same God produced all of you, and is looking over your shoulder and keeping records. When nobody was looking, you pinch your little sister and he kept a record. I saw you, naughty boy. When you come here, I'll sort you out, I'll punish you. So either you have a God controlling you, becoming a monitor, and saying, I'll give you carrots and stick, so you better behave. So that's why you become moral. See, this is one approach. We can smile about it, but this is how humanity operated for thousands of years. But this approach appears very weak. Because you find that if this God is keeping records of every little thing I do, he's got nothing better to do. This is terrible. The deeper idea comes from this idea that I just dished out to you. Do you know why you don't hurt somebody? Or why you behave morally with other people? The same spirit that is percolating through these eyes and looking at you here is percolating through those eyes. I'm stuck. The reason why I can't hurt somebody is because I'm hurting myself. The same spirit is never plural. It's percolating here, it's percolating there. So how can I hit myself? It's like hitting myself, hurting myself. So it's the most natural law. It doesn't come because a God looking, supervising. You are stuck with the rest of the living kingdom. You are stuck. So that's why you don't hurt. And why should you help? And again, look at the language of Hinduism. It says, When you help somebody, don't use the word charity. It's a very demeaning comment. When you help somebody, what have you done? You helped yourself. Why make a fuss about it? You take a little bit of money from this pocket and put it in this pocket. I'm so charitable. That's not charity. Don't demean it. Don't demean this exercise. It is natural for you to help, but you are stuck with a living kingdom. We are all stuck. So even though I presented this very broad idea of why reverence for life, why this idea of helping others and not hurting others comes naturally. Look, which religion or which theology has got anything like this at all? Show me one. You can show me, Buddhism and Jainism. They talk same language. They don't use the same vocabulary, but they offer the same themes. You see, this is kind of like a deeper idea about religion without reference to a theos, no God coming in the picture. In a way, it's nice because this, in a way, makes us responsible in a very natural manner, not because some God is going to whack us, but because we are stuck with each other. See the power of this teaching. And when you present this kind of broad vision to it, suppose you are doing social sciences, and social sciences, they'll tell you, look, religions are just a ploy. They'll give you Durkheim, they'll quote Durkheim, say, this is just a social ploy. Basically society learning to live with each other and learning to live with itself and how to regulate itself. It produces all this moral guidance and moral laws in the name of God and religion. Okay, it's just a ploy. Guys, wake up. You see, Hindus have to smile and say, we don't dislike you. We agree that it's in a way a bit of a ploy. At the same time, there is one trump card that religion has which social science doesn't have. Let me show you the trump card. At best, social sciences will teach us how we can learn to live with each other. That means, look, I will not step on your toes, you don't step on my toes, let's sign an agreement. At best, it will tell you how to do commerce with each other or between us as a whole group. How to do commerce so that we can coexist in a peaceful manner. That's all we can do as a social science. And the aim of social science is to teach you how to tweak the knobs, how to adjust the law, how to adjust this and that particular features, how to become more egalitarian, and how to make sure that we can live peacefully because we are just being fair to everybody, so that everybody is kept in their place and things work out well. So they'll teach you how to tweak the knobs of controlling society. Social science at the best can teach you how to live with each other. Religion, especially your religion that I just talked about, doesn't just teach you how to live with each other, it tells you how to live for each other. See the difference? Now you see, whenever you find a family that is able to live, where the members are able to live for each other, will be the cohesive family. It will work well. The father doesn't live for himself, he lives for his children. The mother doesn't live for herself, she lives for her children. And hopefully the children one day will do the same back, or throw them in the old people's homes. The thing is, this is what religion teaches. It is, if you like, not just learning to live each other, saying, when you were little, you gave me pocket money, so when you're grown up, I'll give you some money. It's not that way. It's terrible. It's very rude. It's degrading. I'm stuck with you. Just as you are looking after me, I have no choice but to look after you. Living for each other, not living with each other. This is the trump card. If you give it to anybody in social sciences, they say, this is, when I take it to the humanists, they say, Jay, how do I fight you now? This is, where do you get this stuff from? How can we live for others? I say, oh, this is how we start. And they love me. See, look, go to Hindu Academy website, and from the front page, you get a link to the British Humanist website. 5,000 word, initially very rude exchange, saying, Jay, I said there's a reconciliation between spiritual humanism and you chaps. They say, no, there's no reconciliation. We are different. You got millions of God, we have got no God. And this is how we start the conversation. At the end of it, you see how it comes out. 5,000 word exchange. We steal their hearts because the ideas we possess are so dramatic. They steal the hearts. This is how do you know how you win in modern society? One way is music. The way you win in modern society is through the power of words, power of thought. If you have powerful thoughts, potent, powerful ideas, you dish it out. It's the force of reasoning that will win arguments, not, if you like, physical violence. That's the last thing you want. Because humanity has evolved, we do not need to solve human problems through violence. We can solve them using this. And this is where Hinduism comes into its own. It comes out very strong.